face, heel. Heel goes over, so that means the bad guy wins. And then you just work it out with whoever you're teamed up against.
I think they're talking wrestling.
Shh,
Easy,
spoilers.
easy,
Secrets.
easy.
Magician never. I mean, a wrestler never reveals his secrets.
I must say, Big, I really did laugh at that thing that you put on Facebook when those two wrestlers were doing it without.
Oh, the force choke.
That was so funny.
With the what? Sorry.
There was two wrestlers doing it without sort of like touching each other. It was really funny. Well, I don't know if it was meant to be funny. It probably was a real wrestling match.
It was probably real.
It was a proper wrestling match, but they were just like pissing about with it.
Yeah, they were being silly. Anyway, yes, we are back, and welcome back, everyone. So the party have been doing a whole load of legwork to find out various activities, what's going on, and they're currently following various leads to see whether or not they can ascertain what is actually going on or what has been going on in the magic leaf. And Studley's has been talking to the barman's mother in the Pie and Scoff, and she would like to go dancing with Studley, and I'm sure it will happen in the future. And Studley, just as you leave, she sort of like calls to you out in the corridor, and she sort of like says to you, "It's all right to go there, you know, the magic leaf. Just don't go at night."
Why is that?
Oh, she says, because it's haunted.
Ah, right.
And she goes
Yes.
back to watching her television.
Cool. Studley's going to go back downstairs and he's going to say to the barman, "Thank you very much for that. Had a very nice conversation with your mother.
All right.
Yes.
Well, if you ever want to take her out, I've got a chair for her. It's not a posh hover chair or anything like that. It actually got wheels.
Oh, well, I shall certainly
Just let me know.
certainly bear that in mind.
I'll get her dressed.
Yeah. I don't suppose Mistletoe frequents your fine establishment does he, at any time?
No. He's far too posh for this place.
Is he? Oh, all right. Okay, well, thank you very much indeed. Yes.
Hector, can you make a memory roll for me?
One
Yes,
memory
you
roll coming
are the
right up. 2.
Yeah, it's while you've been sort of like sat thinking about the information that Uncle Ted, your godfather, I think it is, Ted, sent you. And you suddenly remember and thinking about the various people and the elven gangs. And you suddenly become aware that ever since that barman said something about an elf, that the word elf seems to be coming up quite a lot, and it seems to be a quite popular race that has been coming up quite a lot with what the people on the street were saying, and the report that your godfather Ted sent you, and things like that. Where would you like to go next? It's 9 o'clock at night.
Can we the location of Fiddlesticks? Can we drive by, see whether or not it's still open?
Once you type it into your Mapsoft on your comlink, it sort of like locates it quite nicely for you. It's about 5 or 10 minutes drive down the road, and it does indeed look like some kind of magic shop. And as you drive by, I don't know if you remember what this general area looked like, but it is quite run down for a district, and there's a lot of closed shops, if you remember. But you do come across one that has very heavy metal plates almost over it. And it's not like the corrugated stuff. It's sort of like huge metal plates, so like protecting the front of the shop. And as you drive back and you look in AR, the arrows sort of like highlight it as fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks, take care of all your magical issues. And then
as he's driving by, can Studley switch his perception to see whether or not there's any barriers or anything?
Yeah, by all means.
Outside. I've dropped my charisma spell, by the way.
Okay.
It doesn't matter because it was sustained by the.
Yeah, there seems to be some kind of. You don't think it's a mana barrier. You think it's some kind of hermetic lodge or shamanic lodge in round the shop. It's obviously used for. It's not like a physical barrier or mana barrier. It's obviously some kind of lodge rating.
Okay, and does the arrow on the shop say it's currently closed?
Of course, yeah. It's 9 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I didn't know whether or not being a talisman.
It does say that it will open at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Okay. So yes, Studley will say very, very interesting. I'm wondering how long Fiddlesticks has actually been in business, and whether or not it was a primary competition for the magic leaf.
Yeah, could be. Something we can ask him in the morning. Well, ask him subtly in the morning, so.
Oh. And I wonder as well whether or not he had any connection to the silver tongues.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. It seems that there's quite a lot of, or were quite a lot of elves in the area. Sort of like there's the Silver Tongues gang.
And with him being the only witness to the so-called murders, and no arrests being made, I don't know. I'm thinking at the back of my mind something saying that
he said
maybe he was directly involved, and he was passing on the wrong information to maybe misdirect the law enforcers. I don't know. It's
I suppose it all depends on how long he's been around or how long his shop's been open.
Yes. I think we should definitely speak to him first thing in the morning and find out what he knows.
You want to lift home?
Definitely.
So the plan is going to be is to.
I ignored you, Billy Bob. I heard you.
It's okay.
What did Billy Bob say?
No, it's fine.
Oh, it was so
Big
nice
Bob
of
will just
him.
boot him out of the car now and start walking.
He said, "Do you want to lift home?"
Oh, right.
Well, he said it better.
Longshanks,
He said it better than
Longshanks
that.
talked at the same time.
Hector was talking at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, please, Mr. Bob. That would be much appreciated.
Okay, so you head back off to your appropriate houses, and you pick up your Dodge scooter, etc. Studley. And is it the plan to meet up at Fiddlesticks at 9 o'clock the next morning when it opens?
Sounds good.
Yes, probably slightly after, maybe about 10.
Okay.
Nothing worse than when you open up a shop first thing, and then all of a sudden people pile in when you're trying to get your stuff out on the counter and stuff like that. It's
there's
always
one
a
thing
pain.
less, which is when they come in at 2 minutes to closing time.
Yeah.
And about 9 o'clock in the morning, Cookie calls all your comlinks. Done?
Yes.
Is
Good
it done?
morning, Mr. Cookie.
Yes, it's done. Can I start moving in?
It should
Is it done?
hopefully be it should hopefully be done shortly.
Okay. Bye.
Hello.
I think he's hung up.
I think he's gone. Right. Yeah.
So it's 10 o'clock the next morning, and you drive down the road, and you see that some of the shops are actually open now, and shops that you originally thought were run down and not actually open, you suddenly see they are. And there's various gun shops and weapon shops and armor shops, and there's various boutiques. Well, perhaps boutiques is the wrong word. Charity clothing shops, etc., etc. And then all of a sudden, it's sort of like in this mass of dark grey shops, there's this almost like this glowing shop that is almost like pure white. It is absolutely pure white. It has reflective glass windows. None of the others have this. But there seems to be in AR, there's this wonderful sign that says, Fiddlesticks, we are open for all your magical needs. And it's almost like it's pulsing a lovely white light.
Is it?
Ooh, this looks nice.
Is it a lot? Does it look like it's a lot more being done? A lot more money's being put into it than all the rest.
Oh yes, most definitely.
Okay. Right. So yeah, Studley's going to enter the premises.
Hector will be hot on Studley's heels.
And Billy Bob?
Yeah, he's got to go in as well.
Okay, so you come into what appears to be a very clean white shop. Everything seems to be very well organised. It's not like any talismonger shop that you've been into ever before. Everything is sort of like prestige. Everything is so neat and tidy, and all the reagents, etc. Studley are in sort of like drawers pushed in, and everything's this immaculate white. And everything's completely well organised, and as you walk in, Studley, you feel the bit of the of entering that magic lodge. That you feel that you've come across, and you, Hector, but less so because you don't sense magic as much as Studley, that you've come through something quite powerful. It hasn't reduced anything. It's not aggressive in any nature, but it's quite. You just think, wow. That was quite a powerful sort of like magic lodge. And this guy that you can see is sort of like stood behind the counter, and he looks almost like out of place. You were expecting somebody dressed in white, and this almost like punk elf stands there with tattoos down either arm, and he sort of like looks over at you. And he almost like takes a double take of you, Hector. He sort of like goes like that, and then sort of like relaxes, and then he sort of like he almost like stares, almost like blankly at you all for a while, and then he speaks and he says, "Oh, gentlemen, I am so pleased that you have decided to frequent my shop today."
Yes. Yes, yes.
Maybe I could tempt you, Mister. And he looks at you, Hector. And he sort of
Hector.
Mr. Hector, with a fine weapon. I have several that you might find rather interesting, that could be quite easily attuned to your special adept powers.
As he's
always
saying
open
this,
for-
can Studley switch his senses to see whether or not he's...
Yes, by all means.
Hector will say, yeah, we came for other business, but I'm more than happy to peruse your selection.
As you try to switch your senses, Studley, you suddenly feel that the area is almost like too powerfully magical, and you sort of like switch your area. There's almost like an opaque block up, and
What?
sorry, roll 20's just crashed on me.
Oh, right.
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
I just need to switch onto the
Don't worry, everybody.
same screen as you. He sort of like looks at you, Studley, and says, "Oh, Mister."
Yes, my name is Studley.
There is no need to try to ascertain my magical prowess. I am quite a mage, you would say.
Are you? Do you follow the hermetic traditions, or?
I am a mage, that's all you need to know. And Mr. Hector, are you interested in a weapon?
I'll have a look. I'll let my colleague here do our business first, and then afterwards I'll look at the what you have to offer. Yeah.
Oh, business. I really do like business. And Mr. Studley, how can I help you in the realm of magic today?
Do you, by any chance, keep a stock of cinnabar?
Oh, I have a stock of everything for reagents. You can just see them over there. Please take your pick. And anything that you find is not available, I can most definitely ascertain for you.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So, cinnabar it is then, please. If possible, I would like 6 grams of cinnabar.
He sort of like comes out and he walks quite smartly and upright, and he sort of like scans along the drawers. Cinnabar. Here.
Cinnabar, yes.
And he takes out 6 as you ordered, and he comes back to his the front desk, and he takes out a rather nice velvet pouch and puts them in from the drawer into the pouch and seals them and puts them on what seems to be a weighing scale and scanner together, and he sort of like puts it on one side. He says, "Oh, Mr. Studley, if you please."
Does it show a figure on how much it's going to be?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, Studley will put his com on to take the funds.
Yeah, it takes off 300 credits from your account.
Which is a lot more than it would normally be.
Thank you for doing business with me. There is your cinnabar there. Now, maybe a weapon.
I take it you do you get a lot of business in this area?
Oh, I am quite well renowned in this area of Southside. And he looks at you, Hector, and says, "I have this rather special weapon that I would love to show you." And he sort of like steps back a bit from the counter and bends over and brings out what appears to be a long sort of like long case, and he puts it down and he flicks it up, and Hector, there's this wonderful glistening katana in a velvet case, and says, "I think this would be quite for you. And I can say that it is quite a bargain, for 42,000 credits."
That's very kind of you, but blades aren't my thing.
Oh, and
I'm afraid.
an adept that is not interested in blades. How unusual. And he goes, click. And so
Studley will lean close to Hector and say, "Get him to say sword."
maybe something else. Maybe a small blade will be useful for you. And he sort of like steps back, and he sort of like brings something out that looks like roughly the size of your a survival knife would be. And he sort of like flicks it open, and again it's a bit like is it a Bowie knife? Is that the name of it? Yeah. It's a Bowie knife, and it sort of like glistens. And Studley, you switch to Astral just momentarily, and you can actually see this, and it's just sort of like pulses magic. It's just sort of like going. It's not visible, but you know when you get that heat haze that alters, that it's a bit like this, that, and he says, "Oh, Mr. Hector, maybe something a little bit smaller if you cannot cope with anything big. Maybe this smaller weapon for a fine adept like yourself."
It's not. This is very kind to offer, but once again, I said, well, blades aren't really my thing. I'm more of an actor does this, like cracks his knuckles.
Oh, he goes
type adept.
He goes click. Oh, you are more like physical combat.
That, or I'm pretty nifty with firearms.
He looks quite
which
shocked.
point-
He looks
At which
quite
point Billy Bob gives a
Hector just shoots Billy Bob a glance and goes,
Mistletoe sort of like looks quite shocked. Oh, well, I never. An adept relying on weapons of the ballistic type.
Well, that and
how unusual. I thought that was really the realm of the street samurais. However, each to his own, I guess.
It's just my style. That's all. But I've been known to, throw a punch with the best of them.
I'd just like to say that, yes, much like yourself, Mr. Hector never ceases to amaze us as well. I was wondering whether or not you might be able to, perchance of maybe providing us with some information. We are addressing Mistletoe, are we not?
Oh yes, that would be by name, Mr. Mistletoe.
Ah, Mr. Mistletoe.
At your service, Master Studley.
All right, thank you. We were looking for some information on something that happened a very long time ago.
Oh, Mr. Studley, I am but just a simple talismonger that tries to earn his somewhat limited living in this fair city.
Yes. The thing that we wanted to ask about was what was the magical leaf shop.
Oh yes, quite tragic. What happened down there?
Yes. From what we can gather, you were a witness to the
Master Studley, I certainly was, and the law enforcers were quite absolutely terrible at trying to run the street gang down.
Um,
I suspect some corruption.
So when you were a witness, were you in the shop at the time, or did you observe it from over the road, or
I suppose I could tell you, Mr. Studley, since we share the magical prowess that we manipulate. And he goes, and he snaps his finger, and this sort of like really lovely woman appears at the other end of the shop, and she's sort of like really fancily dressed, and she looks, and every one of you looks at her and thinks, wow. And she says,
Studley's going to switch his perception to see whether or not it's actually a woman.
yeah, roll your sensing. No, it's a spirit, and it's probably about a rating 6, and it's probably a full 6, sorry, and it's a rating of man or rating of woman. And he sort of like says, well, would you believe Holly actually saw it all, and she actually saw it, well, actually heard the, shall I say, the screams of the unfortunate woman and her daughter, and awoke me from my slumber, and I came out and saw the most disreputable gang, elven gang, shall we say, what is it that we call it? He turns to you, Billy Bob, Mr.
Oh,
Ugg. Mr. Ugg. Mr. Ugg, what is that dreadful thing that people off the street throw around with bottles and bits of dirty handkerchiefs in?
petrol bombs.
I was thinking a different name. But thank
Molotov?
you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Ugg. Yes, the Molotov cocktails. Throwing them into the burning magic leaf.
I mean, what would be your guess of why this was actually done?
Oh, it would appear, Mr. Studley, that it was thus elven fun. Teenagers having a somewhat adventurous and fun time. Apparently, they did not know what was within.
Did the magic leaf have any impact on your business? I presume they also dealt in magical equity.
You are quite right, Mr. Studley. But please observe my shop.
Yes. I mean, it's obvious that it is of a very high
Exactly.
high caliber, matched very much by your high caliber on pricing.
We catered for somewhat of a different clientele.
So, how was it that your and Studley look across it and say your assistant was there to notice the attack?
She heard. She protects the shop at night, Mr. Studley, and she heard the screams.
Ah, right. Very, very interesting. So the gang were never tracked down. I would have thought it would be very easy for the law enforcement to actually find a gang on the.
Mr. Studley, I like you a lot. Roll your either con or negotiation, whichever one you would like to roll, and you can add +2 to the dice.
Okay, I'm going to edge this one.
Pre-edge it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the edge didn't come off. No, the edge didn't come off.
Okay, so explode then.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to? Oh no, because it didn't even roll the extra edge dice.
No, so roll.
There's no problems with it, is there?
No, that did. That rolled
There
your
we go.
edge. Yeah, no. Yeah.
9.
He sort of like says, he looks at you all and says, Holly, guard the shop for me, please. Gentlemen, take a walk with me into my rear of the shop. And he sort of like goes through a set of white doors into the back room.
Okay,
Well,
Studley will follow.
so yeah, so we'll have to. And he's sort of like,
Mr.
No,
Ogg, are
so-
you going as well?
Yeah, Billy Bob's intrigued. He's like, this place is crazy.
He takes you into what seems to be some kind of viewing room, as if people could sit down and view weapons or magical foci or things like that in the sort of like in private in the back. And there's a big white wall, and he goes, "You see there," and he points to the wall.
Act sort of like look at it and blink and be. And
Studley's
stand-
going to switch his senses to see whether or not there's anything different about it.
Now roll your sensing roll. Yeah, there's a spell on it. There's a Trid Phantasm on it that is making it look like a wall. And Mistletoe says, "Oh, sorry. And he sort of like looks down to the floor and says, "Robert, release it." And all of a sudden you notice that the white wall shimmers for a while and then becomes still a white wall, but has a series of photographs on it. And Mistletoe turns around and points to it and says, The original silver tongues, as you can see. And there's a series of about 18 pictures, and a number of them have got red crosses across them, and there's only 2 remain without a red cross.
is it sort of like set out in like a crime scene sort of style thing where they've got the person and information underneath them?
No, it's
across,
it's
or is it just
literally
pictures?
it's just literally 3 rows of 6 images. They're proper good images, so they're like 3-dimensional and almost like GIF-like, you know. And you can see that there's most of them have red crosses on them, and there's 2 that are uncrossed, and they both seem to be of middle-aged elves.
Billy Bob's gonna point and turn to him and say, "You did this?"
Well, I cannot actually claim all responsibilities, Mr. Ogg, but I am quite flattered that you thought it was me. But thank you so much.
So these are the last two surviving members of the Silver Tongue gang, are they?
Yes.
And how old is? Well, they look pretty old in the picture. How old are they now?
Well, they are thought like middle age for us elves.
And do you know what they're called?
Which ones?
The two that which are left alive.
Oh, you assume that the red crosses mean that they have passed over.
That was my assumption. Am I wrong in that assumption?
Well, I would wish that that was the case. However, some have, shall we say, disappeared. And there now exists no trace of them, despite my range of mystic ritual sorcery. I cannot locate them at all.
But the two without the crosses, have you managed to? Has your power managed to locate them?
Oh, yes.
Very interesting.
He points to
Oh.
one, and it seems to be quite a beautiful looking elven lady with blonde hair. Looks like in the picture she's had some work done to her face. And Mistletoe says, that will be Betty Scorn. She runs a rather posh boutique in North Southside. Did very well for herself after she managed to escape the Silver Tongues. And this one points to what appears to be a guy. That is Cedric Magnum. He's a wage slave for Young Industries. You might know them.
Sorry, what was his name again? Phaedric.
Cedric
Magson.
Magnum.
Magnum.
As in the old-fashioned chocolate Lythlon.
No.
Cedric.
Where is he?
Oh, Mr. Ogg, please pay attention. He works for Young Industries.
Have you been anywhere near the magical leaf recently?
He sort of like stops and sort of like looks at you, or he says, have you not been inside?
Really
Yeah,
don't want to go inside.
Yeah, we met the I think I call it a ghost, but
Monica,
it's something else.
Monica was there, was he?
Yes. And I think it will be my understanding that Monica will probably remain there until the people responsible for her death and her daughter's death are brought to justice in some way.
You look like those brave sort of chaps. I have something for you. And he goes over to what appears to be a drawer, and he puts his fingerprints on the top, and it goes, and he pulls it out, and he brings out what appears to be like a gem, and he sort of like holds it out to you, Studley, and says, "Thus go up with this. Don't worry, Mr. Ogg. It will protect you, but it might be worth talking to her. Don't go at night. She tends to be a little bit more, shall I say, aggressive.
Yes,
wow.
we. Yes, I think we've experienced aggressiveness firsthand. Hector says, glancing at Billy Bob.
Well, thank you very much for your time and your and study sort of like look at the velvet pouch with the very expensive Cinnabon and go and yes.
Oh, not at all. And can I say, Mr. Studley, that the prices go slightly down for my, shall we say, regulars.
Yes, yes, that is good to know.
Um,
Yes,
And
yes,
Mr.
thank you.
Mistletoe, please, if you ever, I'll pop in sometime soon. But if you could look at something a bit more to my style, I would.
Oh, Mr. Hector, I don't deal in ballistic weapons.
Either that
What
or
other bladed things do you deal in?
Oh, I deal in almost everything magical, Mr. Studley.
Right.
what about something a little bit more? Well, not firearms, but physical, maybe.
Such as?
Uh, something that I can wear on my hands, maybe.
My expertise are with blades.
Okay. Well, I'll bear.
I have some very nice wings.
Very nice one.
I will be sure to pop in sometime soon
And Mr.
have
Hector, it would be
peruse.
lovely to have you back.
Yes, I look forward to looking at your selections.
Okay, and you leave the Fiddlesticks.
Why didn't you get him to say sword?
You swine!
That's what I said.
or assassin.
That's Studley's now. I'm going to buy all my stuff from that.
Yeah, well,
From him now. I just want to. Want to
consider Mistletoe now, Studley, to be your a place that will be your and yours, Hector, if you need it.
Not at that price, it
Yeah,
will be.
but as he says, once you become a regular, then the prices become a lot more reasonable.
Yes. So
It's 10 o'clock. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning.
I don't suppose you took pictures of the elf, did you?
Sorry, no.
Okay.
I was too busy looking at all the shiny things and listening to Mr. Mistletoe.
Yes, okay. Well, I think probably the next plan of action, seeing it is 11 o'clock in the morning, would be to maybe see whether or not we can open a line of communication with Monica.
We could use the crystal or the shiny stone. Well, the stone that you've been given, and see if that works.
Yes, I'm unsure about this.
But he didn't ask for it back, did he?
Can Studley sense what he's been given from?
Yeah, all you can actually sense from it is that it appears to be something. It's something quite magical.
Right. Okay. So it is magical. Studley was on the lines that maybe it was
Sorry, you haven't come across anything that looks like this in Astral before. It's probably something quite high up magical. You probably think almost like above you the initiate level of understanding, but it does feel quite warm in your hand, as if you're holding a warm coal, a warm stone that you might use for massage or something like that. And it doesn't, when sensing it, you don't sense that it's negative in any way. It seems very positive and almost like reassuring.
Okay, so the plan is to go across now, seeing it's still daytime, and go to the old magical leaf shop where we first encountered the spirit or whatever it was.
So as you left it, the door is still slightly ajar. And as before, you actually notice people walking down the side of the street of the magic leaf. And then as they get close, they actually cross over to the other side of the road and walk a bit and then come back. And if you remember, there's an alleyway with dumpsters down the side. And there's not even cats in there meowing or rats or anything. And the whole area, as you get close to it, it's almost like as if the world just goes silent in that area. And you're not too sure, but you think the temperature might actually drop a couple of degrees centigrade. But all your AR says it doesn't. The temperature is just absolutely constant, but you almost like feel that chill. And if you remember, it's just like downstairs, it's just like the shop that has the counters and it's being sort of like disturbed, etc. And then there's a little doorway or a little entranceway that goes into the back of the shop, and that's where the mist formed and this thing appeared. And there's a set of stairs that goes up.
Okay, so Studley's going to he's going to sort of like try to squeeze through the gap in the of the door, probably catching his stomach a bit as he's going through, maybe losing a button or two, and I don't know whether or not the other two are.
Yeah, Hector.
Hector would probably go in after Billy Bob.
So hang on then. So Billy Bob, what are you doing?
Billy Bob's,
I'm not going in.
Bob's at the bottom of the. Is it like a pathway?
It's just like a sidewalk. That goes
so down. He's at the bottom there looking up. He's going, go ahead.
Hector says, "Come on, Billy Bob. We're going to need you. It's right. I'll be in with you. You'll be fine."
After you.
Nudging, and Hector sort of like nudges him and says, "Come on, Billy Bob. After you. We can't let Studley go in on his own."
Go ahead. So Billy Bob's going to grab hold of Hector, and he's going to put his hand on his shoulder and push him in front of him as he's like slowly walking up the pathway to the door.
And as long as Billy Bob is still following behind, Hector will walk in.
Okay, so Studley's sort of like gone in, and then you two sort of like have this sort of like pushing and trying to decide who's going to go in first. And eventually Billy Bob wins, and Hector, you go in first, and Billy Bob follows. And so you're in the bottom shop area, and you can see in front of you the sort of like place where this mist formed and this apparition appeared. And it now, in the light of day, it doesn't look at all sort of like scary. It looks like an abandoned shop, and it's quite sort of like messed up, and it looks like it's been there like this for quite a while. All the important bits have been looted out. And you can see at the back there's an area very similar to Mistletoe, sort of like back area that he showed you, and then there's this set of stairs going up to the first floor.
Studley has the gem out in his hand, holding it in the palm of his hand, and he's thinking that the chances are is if the premises were closed when it was firebombed by the silver tongues and they heard screaming, chances are they were probably still upstairs. So he's going to be making his way to the back.
Okay. Do you have?
Yeah.
Hang on. I'm just giving you control of your. Can you see your characters?
Oh yes,
can
I was
indeed.
zoomed
Oh,
out.
it's my-
Yeah, I can. I can.
Yeah, I'm just giving you
That's my
movement. Right. Is this your movements coming in now? There you go. Should be able to see.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And
So are these the stairs going up?
yeah, they certainly are.
Okay, so Studley will walk in front with this, as I say, this gem on the palm of his hand.
Hex will be following, like 2 or 3 steps behind.
You
All
go
the
up
way
to the
up.
top of the.
It doesn't have a choice.
And then when he gets about halfway up, he'll pause on the step and turn to look to see if Billy Bob's following.
Billy Bob's still got his hand on your
Oh,
shoulder.
you've still got. Well, yeah, then I don't need to turn. And says, "Come on, Billy Bob."
As Studley gets up to the top and he moves sort of like this direction, he's just going to stop, and in sort of like a quiet voice, he's going to say, "Monica, Monica."
Hex is sort of like looking all around like this, going, waiting for this ghost to appear.
Strange. He's going to go and go through these doors.
Billy Bob's gonna just turn around and say, "Maybe she's gone shops."
It could have gone to the ghost shops. Yeah.
Okay, so beyond this, there appears to be like a long corridor, similar to what you saw in the Pie and Scoff. Okay, I'm just going to reveal it for you and then move you across. And you can see down both sides there's and doors. The doors seem to be shut, and at the end of this corridor, you can see that there's almost like a doorway that you figure opens out onto the fire escape. You should remember there was a fire escape on the side, yeah.
Studley's going to turn around and say, if the shop was firebombed, why did they not use the fire escape?
You do notice, you all do notice that the wood around you is blackened and burnt, but it still looks structurally sound. Okay, and you do notice that some of the doors have been replaced, while others, the timbers still look quite burnt and charcoalish.
Perhaps they
standing where he is, Studley's going to switch his sight to the astral.
Yeah.
Does he still? Can he? Well, I'll roll some dice and then I'll ask some questions. Does he still perceive the emotion?
Yeah, and
like,
it's thick. It's thick. The whole area is just thick with emotion, and it's exactly what it was before. There's almost like this swirling mist of revenge and hatred, and yet there's love and passion all these emotions sort of like swirling around, but it's not like a thin mist. It's like thick black smoke of emotions all whirling round constantly. So much so that you do figure that any spell casting in here is going to be quite difficult.
Studley is going to switch back, and he's going to say once again, he's going to say, Monica, we're here to help.
At which point Billy Bob's going to turn around and say, "We're nice. Please don't scare me."
Is there any markings on any of the doors?
Markings as in...
Looking for one that might have been put to as being a door of a young child.
No, most of them are sort of like
They've all been replaced.
Normal doors, or you notice that. Let me just get my pointer. Things like these seem to be quite blackened, but the doors seem to be replaced with quite new wood, and they're all closed.
Okay, Studley's going to go over to this door and push it open.
Yeah, Billy Bob's feeling a little brave, so he's gonna do the same with this door.
Yeah, let me reveal them for you. Okay, so you should be able to see inside them now.
Is this a window at the end?
Yes. Well, it's like a window seat,
Right.
and then the windows behind it. So
anything in it, or is it empty storeroom?
it just looks absolutely completely empty.
Is the floor blackened in here as well?
Yeah, it
the
doesn't.
same?
It looks like some of the floorboards have been replaced, mainly in this corridor. But in here, they look like it's as if somebody started a job but didn't actually get round to completing it.
Is that the same for the room that I'm looking into?
Correct.
As well?
Yeah. Apart from you've got a spider web in yours.
Yeah, that's not bothering him.
So I'm going to close that door, and once again, Studley's going to go, Monica, we're here to help you. And he's going to go over to this door.
Okay.
And push it open.
Okay.
Okay, there seems to be a bed in here, and lying on the bed is a body, and the body is it's almost like contorted and twisted, and you notice the first thing you notice from it, Studley, from that distance, is that the skin looks extremely pale. If you would like any more information, you will have to go into the room and get closer.
Yeah, Studley's going to go close. Is it male, female?
I just need to know what Hector and Billy Bob are doing.
Hex would have come in with Studley.
Okay.
Well,
Look at the body.
as Studley opened this door, Billy Bob would have went to this door and
Okay.
looked inside.
Oh, you didn't get a body.
Okay. Studley and Hector both make perception rolls for me, please. You can see what's in here. I'm just seeing about additional information.
Boom.
Whoa.
Headshot.
Okay. So the
Six
first
out of 7. 6 out of 8.
8, yeah. So the first lots of information you both get, and then after the 3 that I've given you, Studley, you see the rest. But I'm assuming you will share it. Okay. Number 1, you notice that this body is middle aged. Number 2, it seems to be wearing some kind of a suit, almost like a business suit. And number 3, it's elven. Okay. Going off from the 3, Studley, so these are the information that you found. The eyes are completely sort of like wide and almost like gaping. And it looks like the mouth is open in some kind of a scream. And the other thing that you figure, Studley, from a magic point of view, is that it looks as if the very essence of its soul has been drained out of it.
Can Hector see, or sort of using his limited criminal investigation skills, can he see if he can tell how long the body's been there for?
That would be more of a medical skill.
Oh, okay.
It just seems to be lying on there. Oh, but
Don't worry, Billy Bob's here.
sorry. Both of you make a memory check.
That was gonna be
Can
my
I
next
say that
question.
I want to see whether or not it was the male elf from the pictures? The
Frederick Magnum from Young Industries.
Frederick.
Fadric.
Frederick.
Thedwick.
Frederick.
Cedric.
Oh, Cedric.
I had Fadric.
It was the
Thedrick.
Fafik.
Thedrick. Thedrick.
It's not Cedric Magnum, but Studley, you do actually recognise it. This face as one of the other pictures that have been crossed out up on the board.
Can Billy Bob
Interesting.
do his medical check to see how long it's been there?
Yeah, if you have a medical skill.
I do now. First aid.
Yeah, cool. Roll it.
Okay, cool.
First aid plus logic, which I think a default to. Yeah, you figured that it's really hard to tell because there's no blood around here at all. But there seems to be no bugs or insects on it. So you think it's probably maybe there a week?
So no cobwebs or anything.
Correct, yeah.
Oh, very interesting. I'm now wondering about the police report, Hector,
Oh, the missing
Dead.
people.
and still.
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether or not the yes. And I'm also wondering that maybe was she an elf?
Looking at these floorboards, are they exactly the same as all the rest of them?
Sorry, I couldn't see where you pinged because I'm zoomed in. Which floorboard?
Oh, right. So I'm just looking at these floorboards.
Oh yeah,
Seeing
they're
if
sort of like blackened from the fire, but they seem to be. They don't look like the same ones as the corridor because the corridor ones are quite new. Those are the ones that have been replaced, but the ones in this room are still sort of like the remnants. And this bed is probably quite burnt and sort of like tattered, and it looks quite small.
Ooh.
Yes, Dudley.
Baby
I
bed.
don't know. Perhaps she was an elf.
I'm just thinking that maybe they were trying to get to Betty Scorn, and maybe it was her maybe it was her daughter. A tooth for a tooth. I don't suppose you have a name on the police report there.
No, I wasn't given a name of the person.
Studley's going to go into the corridor again.
Billy Bob
And this
wants
time
to
he's
check-
going to say, Monica, we're here to help. There's only 2 left. And he's going to go over to the door opposite.
Are you both opening the doors?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Damn it.
Are you crap at this? You chose my side because you think you were going to get something, and
Yeah,
now look.
Oh, look at you!
Now, boys, calm down.
In this room, there seems to be a well-dressed elven woman. She is lying on the floor, and yet again, she looks quite high status in the dress that she's wearing. But again, she's just sort of like lying on the floor, quite as if she's been dumped unceremoniously. And yet again, Studley, even from this position, you can see that she's extremely pale, and her eyes are just like gazing straight ahead. You know, there's no life left in them at all.
Studley's going to just switch his perception to astral.
Yeah.
And just view her on the astral plane.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to see through all the swirls from this distance, but she has no life force.
Does Hector recognise her as Betty Scorn?
You would have to get into the room to do that.
Okay, well, Hector will wander in closer to have a look to see if he recognises her faces.
Make a memory check. No, it's not Betty Scorn. It's one of the other crosses that was on the face. On the.
And this one of the other crosses as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder what brought them here after so long.
Did you say the fire escape's just beyond this thing here?
Yeah.
Or there's more corridor?
No, it's just like a bay window sort of thing that would open out onto the fire escape. Billy Bob and Studley, while you're sort of like gazing at the window, your feet feel quite cold all of a sudden, and you look down and you notice that the corridor seems to have this mist that is sort of like swirling around on the floor.
Billy Bob's going to start panicking. He's going to no, and like he's going to come up to Studley and say, "Get the rock, get the rock."
I have the rock, Mr. Bob. Studley's going to say again, Monica, we're here to help.
Hector comes out of the room at this and huddles next to both Studley, the Rock, and Billy Bob, and just like gently puts his hand on Billy Bob's back and says, "It's gonna be all right."
There's only 2 left. We can help. Does this rock do anything?
No, it seems to be almost like getting warmer and almost like pulsing. And it seems to be getting warmer and warmer and pulsing more and more and more.
Studley's going to come around into this room.
And this woman suddenly pulls herself up.
Where do you want me to put myself? Because
No,
I was dragged-
he did it before you. I
was dragging my character when
yeah,
you said it.
I was just delaying. But she sort of like rises herself up, and she's this wonderful, stunning elven beauty that is sort of like dressed in what appears to be sort of like elven white chiffon gowns. And even though she's totally pale and totally sort of like evil looking, she appears absolutely beautiful in every sense of the word. Can you make for me, please? Let's get this right. Can you make your willpower and magic rolls, but can you add +4 onto them?
Can Studley see whether or not he wants to put his counter spell in?
Yeah, if you want to give people extra dice, then that's absolutely fine.
Can I give everybody an extra 3 dice?
Yeah.
Because I can have. Oh no! Because
Willpower.
how does it work? Counter spelling.
Yeah, you should have a number of dice that you can separate.
Well, I've got counter spell 6.
So you've got 6 dice that you can allocate.
Right.
To
Okay.
people
So
as an interrupt
okay.
Action.
Okay. So I'm going to put 3 to both Billy Bob and Hector.
So I'm basically rolling willpower +3.
No, you're doing. Yeah. Do you have any magic?
No.
No. So you're doing willpower plus your +2 that I've given you, and then +3 that whatchamacallit is giving you.
So +5.
Oh wait, that means I've counted it wrong. Willpower plus magic.
6, 7, 8, 9. So you should have 10, Hector, I think.
So 4
How-
plus 2 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I should be
11,
rolling 11
yeah.
dice. Yeah, sorry, I've miscounted. I thought you said 4 and 4.
That sucks. Oh god.
I'll take the second roll.
Okay, there's 1 second.
I did better.
Did I do that right? Willpower's 2 +5 for the situation modifiers.
Yeah, that's
What's
right.
your magic?
He doesn't have
No,
any.
0.
I don't have magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of a sudden this this almost like this power emanates over you, and it's not a power of running away at all. It's almost like this power of intense attraction, and as if you're totally entranced by her beauty and everything. And she sort of like looks at each one of you, and she sort of like holds out a finger, and her eyes seem to focus on you, Hector. And she sort of like holds out a finger, and she sort of like beckons you, and you hear this very soft, almost like singing voice coming out, and she says, "Come and meet your doom." And I think that would be a good place to leave it for
Do we
tonight.
not just get rid of Hector now?
Yeah, just let him
Is
go.
that Hector dead?
Grab him and push him into.
Have him!
Did Billy Bob and Studley just take a step back and to either side of it? It's one of those things that when there's a line and they say, "Who
Step
wants to
forward."
volunteer, take 2 steps forward," and everybody else takes 2 steps back, leaving the person.
Brilliant. Yes. So we will pick it up from there next week.
Sounds like I might need to work on making a new character.
So we will wait and see. Oh, Chuggerwugger's left already.
I clicked the wrong thing.
Yeah. So before we go tonight, you can tell people who you are, where they can find you, and who you've been playing tonight. And we start, as always, down there with the glasses wearing Mr. Chuggerwugger.
I'm Chugwugger, and tonight I've been playing Stanley Lovely, aka Studley, in the Shadowrun universe. You can also find me here on on Saturdays, where we play Mithras at D100 system, where I play Gulliver, the animal-loving sorcerer. Another magic user. Apart from that, I'm normally in Will's channel, acting as a moderator or hanging about in his Discord channel as well.
Cool. Excellent. And then next thing we have Longshanks EPG.
Hi guys, I'm Longshanks EPG. I've been playing Hector tonight, although by the sounds of it, it might be Hector the Doomed. You can usually find me in Inward's channel or Discord. I'm in his Discord most days, floating around, playing games, talking, chatting, causing mischief. And you can find me in his channel on a Tuesday night to play Shadowrun, and Saturday nights playing Mithras, as mentioned by Chuggerwugger. And then if I'm around and he's streaming, I will be in his channel lurking and doing waffles.
Did you see the channel that I said one for you, Longshanks, in Discord?
When did you say that?
I think it was last night or the night, Sunday night. I've
Possibly
started.
not.
A friend of Big Beastie. I know this person. You might know. You know, Whiskey River 21. Is that his name?
Yeah, I know Whiskey.
Yeah. His friend started to play as well, called Easy Prey, and Easy Prey was playing Total Warhammer.
Oh, did you PM it to me, or did you?
No,
it was done in the general chat.
Yeah,
I
I just
must have missed
seen it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know why he had actually linked it to you. I thought he'd gone retarded, but
Yeah.
I see now.
He was playing Total Warhammer. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, I've just seen it now. I
Yeah.
hadn't
So it was a good game. It was a good game. He lost the first one because he just started and the other player left.
Oh, he was doing multiplayer matches.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he was by himself, and then he won the next one, which was so good. And then they went off and started to play something else that looked like Minecraft but wasn't.
Oh, I know this.
Were they playing Eco?
No,
The new one?
No, it's I can't remember the name of it.
There was lots of jumping around and hitting with swords, and they had to collect.
Oh,
like,
it was Portal Knights, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Portal Knights. Yeah. So they were playing that. So that was interesting. That was multiplayer as well.
It is. Yeah.
It was Easy Prey was playing this weird game that was something about an octopus. And you put different. It looks totally. I couldn't play it, but you put different things on the octopus's arms, so you could have a penguin and a jellyfish and something like that, and it fired things out. It was like, what do you call it? Is it like a scrolling game when you only go forwards and then you meet a boss? It was a bit like that, but one of the excellent things is that you could have, as an additional piece of instead of a tentacle, you could have a pufferfish. And this pufferfish swam around with you. And when you activated it, just blew up everything. It suddenly got really big. And when it went out the water, the pufferfish got a little spherical ball, a sphere that it was inside with a bit of water. So it could still float around. Anyway,
What game was that?
I don't know. He said that he bought it off Steam, and it was just free.
That narrows it down.
I think it was called something like Octopod, or something like, or Octopond, or something like that. I'm sure that's what it was. Anyway, yes, Big Beastie.
I am Big Beastie. I have been playing Billy Bob, the scared tank. You can find me in my own channel, streaming most days. Other than that, you can find me here on a Tuesday playing Shadowrun, and also in Will's Discord playing odd games with Mr. Wooga Chugga Wooga.
There you go. I popped it up there for you, so you are now.
Gracias.
You are now there. I was trying to find this this game that Easy Prey. What's his name? Easy Prey.
Easy Prey.
Is it Easy Prey? Oh, Easy Prey 1015. Because it'd be on his videos, won't it?
2015.
2015.
Yeah. It was.
Oh, here it is. I've seen it. Octageddon.
Yeah, it was totally weird, but it was quite funny to watch, actually. It was quite funny to watch. And it was one of those games I think you just picked up and played rather than anything else. So I am... Oh, now then, how do we do a raid on someone?
No idea.
Yeah.
I think you just,
Is it not
just go
slash
into the channel and
raid?
go raid.
/raid and then the person's channel, I think.
Because on one of my achievements, it says I need to do more of them.
There it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
did I click? I don't know if I clicked.
Anyway, yes, I've been in Wills and I've been DMing lots of different characters tonight, including Mistletoe, the fantastic talismonger, the guy in Pie and Scoff that has no name, and his mother, and finally the beautiful lady who is beckoning to Hector to meet his doom. Anyway,
He's offline.
please, is he not playing? Oh no, it says I'm now hosting him.
Yeah. It's /raid.
There's only
By
you
the
who
name,
could
space
host
and
somebody,
the name.
raid somebody who isn't actually there.
No, what? Oh.
I'm not on your channel, so.
Anyway, I hope you've
Quick,
enjoyed.
Big Beastie, go online so we can raid you.
I hope you enjoyed tonight's game, and I will be back on Saturday at 3:00 GMT time, still with a cracked tooth and playing ESO. And then on the evening we'll be playing Mithras, and then on Sunday again I'll be playing more ESO. So if you want to come and join us, then please do come along and join us and press that follow button. I will see you next on Saturday without fail, if not before. But until then, I would like to say to each and every one of you, say what you think and be who you are, because the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. Have fun, and I'll catch you all later. And until then, consider yourself well and truly waffled. Have fun, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.
Ciao, Bella.